Riding down the corkscrew in the wagon was sick.
Grid Life Laguna Seca, most gangster track ever, and we're gonna get the one and only Forrest Wang in the car, in the Barra Wag. So before we do, let's go chat and let's go over his car. There he is. G'day, mate.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, man.
Wow.
So before we take you into the almighty Barra Wagon, let's have a little rundown of your beast right here. So
Yeah, Nissan S15 Silvia. Converted to left-hand drive because that's kind of like what I'm used to. Terrible at right-hand drive. But
do they even bring out? There is no left.
I don't think there is any left-hand drive. Everyone always asks me, why is it left-hand drive? I was like, well, because that's what I know how to drive. 2JZ power plant. Pretty much your standard 2JZ build, made about 1,000 wheel horsepower. It's got a precision turbo on it, future fabrication exhaust manifold, run a daily dry sump, virtual works intake manifold, Just Racing built the engine. You know, all your standard stuff.
Yeah, just the usual.
The usual stuff. Haltech ECU,
nice.
Radium fuel system, pretty standard stuff. Sequential, it's a Samsonite sequential.
Nice.
ACT triple plate. Run a Winters rear end with all the drive shaft shop axles and prop shaft. Good stuff there.
I know this is an awkward question right now, but I was going to ask how reliable has that setup been?
Usually it's super reliable. I've been fighting a little bit of gremlins lately, but you know that's racing, right? I mean, it's not always on your side. So
sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
No, it comes and goes.
For sure, but I mean, like, obviously, yeah, you've had your good years.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, like the gearbox, the rear end, so you said Winters, quick change?
Yeah, Winters quick change been solid. Drive shaft shop axle's been solid.
Is it Wise Fab on the front?
Yeah, Wise Fab.
Front rack, rear?
It's the rear rack setup still. Yeah. I have that daily dry sump, and it's like a 7-stage, so it takes up a lot of space, so I can't fit the front rack system on here.
Sure.
I really want to get in the front rack. I know Odie and them are running it, and they said it's like a much better feel and a lot more usable steering angle, which is great because the rear setup, I mean, you can get a lot of angle, but when you get past 55, 60 degrees, it really like locks out. It falls into lock and kind of doesn't like to come out. So
funnily enough, I didn't mention, but the wagon actually runs S14 or S chassis front steering, and that's still rear rack, but the one we're building, the next one's going to be Wise Fab front and try it out and see what it's all about.
Seems like front rack's the way to go. Like BMW's a front rack. I had a MK4 Super that was front rack, and that felt amazing. You know, RX-7s are front rack.
I think everyone that's gone it, the way they explain what
front
it's
racks,
the way to go.
It's just like, I think a rear rack, when it like leans over an angle, all the weight just falls on it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, if it's front rack, it's
kind
like
of pulling it.
Yeah,
that makes sense. The same chassis that you've been running for a while?
10 years now. I got this in 2014, and it's definitely seen its fair share of run time.
Sure.
Which is always great. You know, you get a lot of use out of a chassis. It's, you know, back when I first built it, you know, it was like, I never expected to live this long. You know, cars usually come and go, but this one just seems to be lasting.
I guess that leads into like, how many years have you actually done now in drifting and then also FD?
Yeah, so drifting, I mean, 25 years. FD, I think about 10.
Yep.
But been a wild ride. I would have never expected this, 20-something years ago, like that we're traveling the country and doing all these events all over the place and putting on these shows, and people love it, you know? We're out here, we're selling merch and shaking hands, and signing babies. And
originally from Hawaii, is that right?
Yeah, Hawaii originally.
Nice.
No scene out in Hawaii. There's no racetracks, so basically.
So how did you actually get into it then?
So Hawaii had a big scene back in the day. Like, Japanese had actually come to Hawaii 3 times before they came to the States.
Yeah.
So we had Kumakubo, Signal Auto come out with Chunky Bai, and Kazama came out. And these guys came out to Hawaii and like ran at our local track when there used to be a track at Hawaii, and blew everyone's mind before they even had that D1 like in 2004.
Okay.
In the States, to where they had come to Hawaii a few times, and like Hawaii's closer to Japan than the States, really. So we had a really good scene in Hawaii. Like,
that's really cool. So you were sold like when that happened?
Oh, before that. I mean, we were already following all the option videos and Drift Tengokus and stuff. So we knew all about the Japanese scene. It was just seeing it in person. It's like, it is game changing. The first time you saw that level of drift, you're like mind blown. You're just like.
I don't know, I think you can clearly see there's a bit of like JDM inspiration going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you probably heard it 1,000 times, but clearly one of the best styled cars in
Thank
FD
you.
at the moment.
Thank you. Try to keep it fun, you know, because
yeah.
it is a show. Like drifting nowadays, it's super fast and it's super badass, but it's still a show.
Yeah.
You got to remember that we're out here to put a show on for the
crowd.
fans. You got to have the cars looking fresh. You got to have them looking fancy,
100%.
you know, cool wheels, bright liveries, you know, that kind of
100%.
stuff.
If they're not looking fresh,
way.
at least make them different. Make them a wagon.
Right.
I was going to go around and I wanted to do like a little question thing with a lot of the drivers because we've got some pretty cool drivers here this weekend. But one of those questions is, first, what's your like biggest, I guess, achievement or proudest memory in your drifting career? And the second one would be biggest failure or biggest worst memory, I should say, in the drifting.
So, best memory or biggest is like first best achievement for me was first podium. It was 2013 Irwindale. I ended up going up against quite a few drivers, but ended up beating Robbie Nishida in the semifinals. That's when they used to do third battle for third.
Yeah. Way better.
Yeah, I had to go. I think we went one more time for a battle for third.
It's so shattering when they don't do that battle for third because it's like everyone's made it that far, and you want to see those drivers compete. You don't want to go off like some
and
score
especially nowadays where they're running like the last rounds finishes is what you're qualified as. To where basically you're gonna like podium off the last round's finish nowadays.
Yeah.
To where like before it was at least off of qualifying. So if you qualified higher on the day, you may beat out the guy that was in the semis for third place. But nowadays it's like you're gonna get third place off of like last month's battle. So
you want to. It's like it's a chance to get a few extra points as well.
Exactly. So. Yeah, and I mean everyone wants to spray some champagne and stand on the box. Take some photos.
100%.
Bring back battle for third.
Yeah. So that's one of your proudest achievements. that battle and that. How many years in was that?
Couple years.
Couple of years. Yeah, sick. And then
first full season, but I had done like a little bit here and there. Before that.
And then an awkward one. Biggest failure or biggest.
So 2010, I was driving for Drift Emporium, and this is what put me out of the season like that I had run before my first podium season. Driving this G35 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It was back when they used to do parking lot event with just K-rail border, but it wasn't like a radius K-rail. It was just like a box K-rail.
Okay. Yep.
So I come into a turn. I was actually in practice and I was following Tommy Roberts, Part Shop Max.
Okay,
I gave him some space because I wanted, it was practice, early on in practice. I wanted to get a nice, clean, fresh air run. And I'm like, give him some space. I'm coming down the straight, I initiate. And as I'm like coming into the meat of the turn, I see him in front of me and he had crashed right into the wall head on. And I'm like, oh, I panicked. And I locked up the brakes and I hit the wall right next to him. So it was two cars basically totaled right next to each other. So now it was like a very split-second decision. Now I should have just spun the car out and laid onto the throttle and at least backed it in. Because then you're better off like trying to repair the back end than like my frame rails were all kinked and it was like I missed the tire wall by like 10 feet. If I had hit the tires, it would have been a nice cushion, but I hit straight K-rail at like 40 miles an hour.
That's it. Always in hindsight, I guess.
Yeah, in hindsight. So learning experience there. Don't lock them up.
Sure.
Definitely try to get back on the throttle.
I guess on the other end, you've now also carried out a shell for a long time.
Right. Got a lot
doing better than most there.
Yeah.
You've learned something. All right, perfect, man. Well, let's go jump in the seat of the wagon. Hopefully we can get some laps.
Yeah.
I know we did get a lap.
Right.
But I don't know if we got any footage. So hopefully we got some
Somebody's
footage.
got some
I'll throw
footage.
it in there somewhere, but let's go jump in the wagon. Thanks for the chat.
Yep. Right on.
That's right, the world's cheapest four-rotor is going to be shooting flames this Friday night at Calder Park Raceway. Not only that, but we have just received Friday Night Drift's specialty hoodie. Have a look at this. This is only available at Friday Night Drifts and there's only a couple hundred of them, so don't miss out. Not only are we doing a drift event, but we're mixing a music festival in there. We got Spotto Oz coming down, Levez, Sammy Lamarca getting on the decks. We got Ryber the Pro coming out of ears, which is still available for you to purchase online. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure I see you this Friday, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a trendsetter. Who can do it? I'm a go-getter.
It does it. Real solid.
How you going, sir?
Oh, good. Amazing. Riding down the corkscrew in the wagon was sick. Sitting on the left side thinking I'm supposed to be driving, but I'm just going along for the ride.
What's your first thoughts on the 4 liter Fury?
Oh, the 4 liter is amazing. He just left it in fourth, coming up the hill, and it just was like... Yeah.
It just does it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can just feel that torque.
Like I was saying, we were talking about it before. It's kind of like having NOS but with no NOS.
Yeah,
It's just got that like crazy torque right there.
Yeah.
The extra literage.
Yeah, the turbo sounds really good too.
T51R.
The whistle, yeah.
Little whiz.
It's a trip having that live axle out there. It's
Yeah.
a solid axle back there. But
You can probably notice, I mean, with those tires, they're like letting go a bit early, but
yeah.
when I'm trying to like group race around, it wants to kick out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably pretty common in a
Oh,
drift
it's a
car
drift
with a lock diff or whatever. But
seems like we're putting down some good smoke.
yeah, no doubt. I was trying to get that run with Dylan, and he's just running
Oh,
away
I know.
because I put my fingers. I was like, let's do two.
Yeah.
Just go past, and I'll follow.
Yeah.
And
He was on the fly.
he was like, see ya if you can catch me. This
If
guy.
you were spent, your tires were gone.
Yeah.
Or if you had a more tire, maybe
Yeah.
you'd have been able to like get up the hill quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was up that hill quick.
Real quick, he was going for it. Oh, good fun. It was good to take you for that, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm a trendsetter.